flour tortillas. Here's my shredded cheese. Here's my onion. And here is the taco seasoning. Sour cream. We have 2. My jalapeno. My lime. And my tomatoes. So first I am going to rinse off really good and dry my produce. Okay, let's see. They say you're supposed to heat your oven to 400. It is 105 where I am. I have my air conditioner on. I am not trying to light my oven, so I'm going to cook it in a skillet. And you can switch back and forth, but I have to do something a little different for that. But that's what I'm going to do. Not light my oven. So I'm going to core and dice my tomatoes. I'm going to half my lime. I'm going to juice half, and then I'm going to cut the other, in slices, in quarters. I'm going to, where's my chicken? Yes, it's chicken quesadilla. So I am going to pat my chicken dry and season it all over with the seasoning blend that came with it. So that's it. I'll be back and I'll show you the progress. Okay guys, I have dried off the chicken and put the seasoning on the chicken, and I kind of took my hands to incorporate it, make sure all the pieces of chicken had the seasoning. Then what I did is I cut up my onions. This is for the pico de gallo, and my tomatoes, and here's my jalapeno. I sliced up my lime. I juiced half and I sliced it. So next I am going to prepare my chicken for the quesadillas. Okay guys, here's the chicken. I'm going to cook the chicken. I put a teaspoon of olive oil. And let me just mention, this is a home chef meal, but you see everything that I'm using. You can make your own quesadillas. And the seasoning, you can use taco seasoning. And it came with the package, the seasoning. And what I'm going to do is put a pinch of pepper. Now I'm going to let this cook. You want to make sure that you cook chicken all the way through. For those who need to be reminded. You're going to cook this 5 to 7 minutes. Make sure when you're handling poultry that you wash your hands thoroughly. When you cut up the jalapeno and take the seeds out. You want to make sure you wash the cutting board off really well, and also your hands, because you touch your nose, your mouth, your eyes, it could really burn. So we're going to let that cook some more and turn it down just a little bit. I'll be right back. Okay, the chicken is done. I'm going to, you could either, I want to use this pan again. Well, no, I'm going to use another pan because I can put more tortillas on it. So, no, well, excuse me guys, I was trying to figure out the best way. I'm going to take the chicken out, and I'm going to put it aside. I'm going to take a larger type skillet, or actually like a griddle type skillet, but only flat serve, not the little grooves. And I'm going to put this aside. In fact, I'm going to just put it in the microwave. Okay, guys, what I did with the jalapeno, I minced it up. And now I'm going to assemble my quesadilla. I got my pan heated up. Okay, like I said, I'm going to assemble my quesadilla. Let me do one at a time. I'm going to do 3. I'm not going to do the 6 because I'm going to have 3 today, and I want to make mine fresh tomorrow because it's enough for me to have 2 meals. Okay, guys, I kind of tore my chicken up a little bit, so it'll be more bite size. Now I'm going to, it comes with the cheese, I'm going to put some cheese, and I'll just show you how to assemble this. And I'm going to make 2 more. So I'm going to put the cheese on. And then I'm going to put a pinch of onion. Do it to taste, guys. And I'm going to put like a half a teaspoon or to taste the jalapeno. And then what I'm going to do is top it with another tortilla. Now, if we're going to use the oven, I will put them all on a cooking sheet. I will cover it with foil. Then I will put another cooking sheet over that and put like a heavy skillet so it won't curl up in the oven. But I'm going to use the stove. I'm going to use the stove top today. Okay, so guys, what I did is I put a teaspoon of olive oil, and I'm going to put the quesadillas. I'm going to move that over a little bit so I can put 2. You have to do it in shifts. If you have a smaller pan, you just have to do it one at a time. But I'm going to do 2 and then 1. And move it over. I don't want them really touching. And we're going to let that cook until it's brown. Flip it, and then we're going to do the other side. Okay, now, guys, while the quesadillas are cooking, browning also, just make sure that you put you put them in the skillet, and you're not going to touch them. You don't want them kind of melting together and have to, not that it'd be a tragedy, but just, make sure that you space them out good. I'm making the pico de gallo, and I put the tomatoes in. I'm going to put 3 tablespoons of the onions. I'll eyeball it. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 2 teaspoons of the lime. 1, 2. See how precise I measured that? And then what we're going to do is put the rest of the minced jalapenos. Well, not the rest of it because I didn't make the other 3. So we're just going to put some jalapenos in there because we're going to save it for the others. Then what we're going to do is put a pinch a pepper. You know how my pitches are. Okay. Hello. And then we're just going to incorporate it all together and set it aside. Let me check on the quesadilla. Okay, here's the, I flipped them over. And you what? Oh, excuse me, guys. That's a little browner than I would like them. I was busy making my pico de gallo. Don't do that, guys. But you know what? It's all good because I'm eating it. I don't waste not a thing. Because you're only supposed to let them cook no longer than a couple of minutes on each side. But I think I overdid that one. That's okay. If you put them in the oven, they're going to cook like 20 minutes. I'll correct that. Let me double check. Yeah, if you put them in the oven, about 18 to 20 minutes. And I'm going to make sure that the other side is. So I think that's good. So let me take it and plate everything. Okay. So what I'm going to do is cut it down the middle, the quesadilla, or you can cut it into fours. I'm just going to cut it down the middle. Look at that, guys. Oops. I'm going to top it with the pico de gallo. See, I cooked that a little, but that's okay, guys. Quesadilla is supposed to be a little crunchy, aren't they? So I'm going to top it with the tomato, with the pico de. Okay, guys, I put the pico de gallo all over. And the last thing I'm going to do is just put some sour cream. I'm going to put the sour cream a little bit on the top, but mostly on the side. But let me just do that. I'll put. Oh, God, that was like a zit. Okay, I'm gonna put a little bit on the side, just a little bit on each one. Not a whole lot. I got more on my hand. Lick it off. Lick it off. But we're going to save the other packet for tomorrow. If I get hungry, then I will make the other one. I just did 2, but I think that's going to be okay for me. So thank you guys for joining me with my, it's called Weeknight Chicken Quesadilla with pico de gallo. And it's a cheese that starts with a Q. And I just buy the cheese. I don't worry about the pronunciation. Lately, I've been doing that, but that's okay. So let me taste it. Okay, let me taste. Let me do a thumbnail first. Okay, I did my thumbnail. And let me taste this part right here. Look at that. See how that tastes. That's good, guys. That is so good. This is a home chef meal. You can do it yourself if you want to try home chef. My email will be in my description area. Give me your email. I'll forward it, refer it to Home Chef. That's good. And you'll get $35 off. So, thank you for joining me. Have a good evening. One more thing. Subscribe if you haven't already. and hit that notification bell. And I'll see you next time with another delicious dish. Have a good evening. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me today. This is Marilyn Gale. Listen, guys, I am going to make today honey ginger salmon with roasted sweet potatoes and bok choy. So this is from Home Chef, and they include everything. So here's the honey. Here's 3 packets of mayonnaise, the sriracha sauce, 3 sweet potatoes, and 2 small stalks of bok choy. And guys, this is for 2 servings. I'll have leftovers. Here's the mushrooms, and they are the shiitake mushrooms, and so they give you like different sizes, about 6. And the star of the show is the 2 salmon fillets. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to rinse my produce off really good, wipe it off. I'm going to wipe the salmon, rinse that off, and pat the salmon dry with a paper towel, and the same with the mushrooms. I'll be back, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to slice everything. I'm going to slice the mushrooms, the bok choy. I'm going to mix the honey and ginger, and in another bowl I'm going to put the mayonnaise and sriracha to taste. And we're going to start this recipe. So first, what I did, let me show you what I did. I got a baking sheet. I lined it with foil, and that's going to be for the sweet potatoes. I put oil on it so it wouldn't stick, and I'm going to preheat the oven to 425. I'll be right back. Okay, I rinsed the bok choy off really good. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, you can put that in half if you want, bok choy right there. Oops, let me show you right there. You can split it down in half, but I'm just going to leave it as is and just chop it. And then what you're going to do is also slice the leaves of the bok choy coarsely. And just, I got a little tray for it. And I'm going to trim this. Take that little bottom stem off the bok choy. Kind of even it up so you won't have to do it one at a time. That would be a chore to do. But you just take a few at a time, like 3 or 4, and if you can handle 5, and then just chop it, you'll be finished in no time. So here's all of my bok choy chopped off, and I'm going to put this in the fridge. Okay, guys, I washed the sweet potatoes. You can peel them if you want to, but it doesn't call for it. I didn't peel mine. I just washed it, and then I took a paper towel and kind of scrubbed it. Now that sound that you hear is the fan, because I got it's hot today. And I shouldn't have picked something. You have to light the oven, but oh well. But anyway, the oven is on. I'm waiting for it to be preheated to, what did I say, 425 or 425, correct. So, you want to cut up the sweet potatoes. I do it in half, and then I just go across it twice, and that's, this one I probably want to cut a little bit so they'll be uniform. but they're going to be approximately an inch. So these are going to go in the oven. I'll be right back. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to eyeball it, but you're going to put about 2 teaspoons of oil, olive oil, on the sweet potatoes. And then what you're going to do is I'm going to put about a 4th teaspoon of salt. And I'm going to put about a 4th teaspoon of pepper. And then I'm going to just mix it up with my hands. Make sure that you have olive oil on every piece. And you have salt and pepper. You can put less salt if you want. I put a little bit more, guys. I oil my pan with regular canola oil. You have spray. I don't have spray. I always forget to get spray. But I just put a little bit and spread it all over. So what I'm going to do is just make sure it's even, like one layer of potatoes, so they won't be stacked on top of each other, so they can cook evenly. It's almost ready. I'll be right back. Oh, guys, and I forgot to show you. It came with the minced ginger. Usually they'll give you, like the garlic or ginger, and you have to mince it. But I am so glad they put it in this little container and they minced them. So that's one less thing I have to do. Guys, this is Home Chef. They're not being sponsored by them. And but if you want to try it, I will leave my business email in my description area. Just leave me your email and I will forward it. I'll refer it to Home Chef so you can get $35 off. And I don't know why I'm doing that. I see a fly and I'm not having it. But anyway, ignore the fly because it's not going to get on my food or I'd have to throw it away. I ain't rinsing nothing off, guys. I will throw it away. So anyway, that was just a little sidebar. But anyway, if you want to try it, do that. If not, then, you can take this recipe. You can try to, get the ingredients, the mayonnaise, the honey, and whatever. And, but it doesn't tell you. How much of the mustard. It just gives you the little packet. And I don't know the honey and the mayonnaise. I don't know whether that is a tablespoon or 2 teaspoons or whatever, but you can do it to taste and figure it out, Okay, what I did now is I took a paper towel and I just wiped the mushrooms off, each one. I didn't run it under water. I just took the paper towel and did that. And don't do it too hard. Here are the stems. I'm just going to discard those. I don't want those stems. So what I'm doing now is I am just slicing the mushrooms. I'll do it this way. Just slice them. And there you go. And here are my sliced mushrooms. Okay, guys, so what I'm going to do is I am going to combine the honey and the ginger. So here's the ginger. It said in the mixing bowl, so it looks kind of big for that, but that's okay. Okay, and now for the honey. And this is 100% honey. It doesn't say that it's organic or anything. if you want to use organic ingredients, but I am going to use exactly what was given to me by Home Chef. So I'm going to put that in there. That honey. Okay, and with the honey and the ginger, I'm just going to give it a quick stir, mixing that up, and put it aside. Now what I'm going to do is, in another mixing bowl, I'm going to combine the mayonnaise and the sriracha to taste. So taste it. You don't have to put the whole things in, but do it to taste. Okay. Here's the mayonnaise. I'm going to put all of it. I'm going to make both of them today, and then I won't have to do any of this tomorrow. And I'll just have the same dish tomorrow. So, let's see. Okay. I got my little handy dandy kitchen scissors. It makes life a little better. You know how some people tear that with their teeth? You wipe these off when you get them, guys. But still, you know, like people, like you go through the drive-through and you get your ketchup and stuff, and people will take their teeth, you know, like, man, somebody just handled that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Then I'm going to put the sriracha. Oh, I didn't do it to taste. I just put it all in there. Okay, Marilyn. Do your thing. And then we're just going to stir that. And I trust. They said to taste, guys. I just put all that in there. You know what? I don't got time for that. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to eat it whatever it tastes like. But I'm going to tell you the truth and tell you if I made this mistake. So I'm going to stir that real good. And I'm going to set this aside as well. It looks pretty. Let me taste it. Oh, that's okay. I'm good. Okay, guys, what I did is I patted the salmon dry with paper towel, and now I'm going to put a pinch of pepper. Okay, a pinch of pepper. Guys, you know I like pepper. And a pinch of salt. Now, it is said that you do it on the meat side, but guys, I'm going to put it on the skin size too. Thank you very much. Once it came to my house, this is my salmon. Then I'm going to rub it in. Yep. Okay, guys, I hope you can hear me because that fan, I got to leave it on because it is hot. I turned the air conditioner on, though. I'm going to put in this pan about a teaspoon of olive oil. And I'm going to put the mushrooms and the bok choy. That heat. The only thing I'm going to put to that is salt and pepper. I'm going to put about 1/4 of salt and a pinch of pepper to the hot pan. And I'm going to stir it often. Keep an eye on it. I'm going to stir it to the brown and the bok choy is tender. That's going to take about 5 to 7 minutes. Then what I'm doing now is I'm heating my pan with this for the salmon, and I'm gonna put about 2 teaspoons of olive oil in that, and they said do the skin side up. I'm gonna do that, but I'm gonna flip it and I'm cooking that skin because I want my skin a little crispy or what have you. I like the whole thing and I don't want no soft skin. But if you have an internal temperature, let it cook to the internal temperature would be 145 degrees. That's gonna be about 4 to 6 minutes uh, per side, and then we're gonna remove it from the heat and we're gonna make a tint over that when we remove it, we're gonna make a tint over the salmon. So right now we're gonna let the salmon cook. Let it heat up, and while the salmon is cooking, the vegetables will be cooking at the same time. So the point is, the main goal for me, when I cook something, I want everything to be done at the same time, or at least around the same time. Now, after we cook that salmon, we're gonna let that rest for about 5 minutes. So take that under consideration. But everything will be nice and warm, nice and hot, and we won't have to reheat anything. But that's my goal when I cook. I don't like something else over here setting for a while and this is setting. No, I want everything to be done approximately in the same time. I'm not going to be exact or anything, but it'll be close enough. 5-10 minutes, well, that's good. But no, it's not going to be waiting for an hour or half an hour, what have you. Okay, so this is the pan that I'm going to use for the veggies. Put the mushrooms in there. And guys, this is a new pot that I have, new skillet I made. And I like it that it's able to, I'm able to cook a bigger portion. The sides are wide. And next time I get another one, which will be very soon, I'm going to get one with the sides a little bigger. Okay, so I'm going to put that salt up in there, about a 4th teaspoon. And then I'm going to put a pinch of pepper. Now, my pinch may be a little bit bigger than your pinch, but do it to your taste. Okay, now I'm going to slide over here and put my salmon in. The skin side up. Nice. That's going to cook approximately 4 to 6 minutes per side. So we're going to let that cook. We got the vegetables cooked. I just took the sweet potatoes. Well, I'm going to take those out of the oven right now. Okay, look at that, guys. That's looking good. That bok choy. I'm not sure which I like better, the leaves of the bok choy or the stem parts, because I could eat it real good. But you know them dark leafy vegetables? That's some iron up in there, guys. That's some vitamins and minerals in this dish. So that's moving along very nicely. Let that cook a little bit more. I'm going to cut that down just a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay. So right now, guys, I need to move the camera over. I am. Let me see. Look at that. Salmon over. Oh, I love it when it's like that. Put that. Some more. Okay, that's browning very nicely. I love it. Just moving it around in that olive oil. So let that cook for a while. Okay, guys, here's my shiitake mushrooms, my bok choy, my sweet potatoes, and here is the salmon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour some of this honey, ginger over that. I'm going to save enough. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of this on my potatoes to see how I like it. You know, the sriracha and the mayonnaise mixture. I'm going to put a little bit on the side. Okay. And then kind of spoon it like that. You know how they do in the fancy restaurants. See how they did? I did that right there, right there, right there. Okay. Okay, now he better watch this. DOD, you talking about I just cooked that mustard catfish, didn't have no size. Well, you know what? It was all about the catfish. You know how to make potato salad and all that. But he got on me about that. So here you go, DOD. Here's some vegetables. Here's your starch. And here is your salmon. So you got some size. Let me do a thumbnail and then I'm going to taste it. Okay, I did the thumbnail. I'm good. I'm going to taste these potatoes with the sriracha. That's okay. I can do that. Let me take some of this bok choy and mushroom. That's good. Let me get some of this with the honey. Very good, guys. Very good. So, this is a home chef dish. I'm going to enjoy this. If you haven't subscribed, you can do that now. Hit that notification bell. I am hungry. And I'm going to sit down and enjoy me a program on the TV. And I'm going to relax and have me a great meal. Thank you for joining me, and everyone have a good evening. Good night.
Oh, but I wasn't wrong up in mine. But I wasn't wrong up in mine. But I wasn't wrong up in mine.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me today. This is Marilyn Gale. Today, I am just going to do a quick recipe. It is going to be something that frogs in my throat. Excuse me. Mustard fried fish. And I'm going to use catfish. You know, you can use other types of fish, but I'm going to use catfish. What I did is I put a half a cup, because I only have 2 small fillets, and I'll show you in a minute. I used a half a cup of yellow cornmeal, and I'm going to put a 1/4 cup of flour, all-purpose flour. You can use some people may even use self-rising, but I'm just going to use all-purpose. Okay, now usually I don't measure, but to give you a gauge you from how much you should use, let me show you. I have these 2 fillets, just for me. So what I'm going to use, and this is a recipe for about a half a teaspoon of salt, 1/4 a teaspoon of paprika. And I'm going to gauge it because I usually spill it all over the place. So about 1/4 teaspoon of paprika. And I'm going to use an 1/8 cup. If I said cups before, don't you use a cup, teaspoon. This is cayenne pepper. So I'll put about 8 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Maybe a little more. Then I'm going to use approximately 4 teaspoon, guys, of pepper. And guys, I'm heavy-handed on the pepper. Let me just retract that. Not cup, teaspoon. And then I'm going to kind of stir it around. You can get a whisk or a fork. And this should be enough. If I have some left, it won't be that much. So what I'm going to do now is coat my fillets with mustard. Okay, guys, this is my mustard. You can use regular mustard, but you guys, I love the stone ground mustard. To me, it's just more flavorful. Let's just use that much and see. You can use your hands if you want to, but I'm going to cover it with a knife on both sides. I'll put a little bit more. Okay. Flip it over and do the same. What that is, like a little bit of fin. Hold on, guys. It looks like a little bit of fin. Okay. Okay. And if you think it's too much mustard, just take some off. For 4, it says like a 1/2 cup. But I just put on what I think is best. What I think I like, how much. If you don't know how you're going to like it with the mustard, just put a little bit on. Okay. So now I'm going to take this. Oh, all the mustard went on the thing. Just take it off and put it back, slap it on in there. Okay, so just take the mustard, catfish, or whatever fish you're using, and just coat both of them with the flour. You can smush it in, or you can shake off the excess mustard. And take the other one and do the same. Good, we have plenty. I hate it when I don't have enough. Okay. Make sure all parts of it is coated. And just in case, I'm going to put them in there, just in case some of it rubbed off doing it on the cutting board. So there we go. I'm going to heat up my oil and we're going to fry it. Okay, guys, now what I did, I like to test my oil. Just put a little bit of water and see how it reacts. And I'm using this little bitty skillet because I don't want to use a lot of oil for this, just 2 slices of 2 fillets, small fillets. So I get this little bitty oil, you know. And be careful not to overflow, you know. Don't start no fires up in here. So we'll be back and see how that cooks. Should have probably just used a little bit less oil. Let me just turn it down. Like I said, we're not trying to burn down the house. Guys, if you don't feel comfortable with it, because I'm going to stand right here. Do not leave the room, especially if you're frying stuff. You know? If you insist on doing it, oh well. You might come back to an unpleasant surprise. Hope you got fire insurance. You ain't trying to start no fires. So, if you feel uncomfortable, use the bigger skillet. But I just wanted it to, number 1, not use a lot of my oil. Number 2, let it fry quicker. If you want to test any meats, whatever, it should be like 160 on your thermometer if you use thermometers. But I can tell by the brownness. When you cook for a while, most times you can tell. You can tell. So I'll be back to let you see what the finished product is. Let me just go over the ingredients because I'll be messing up sometimes. You know me. Okay, I used a half a cup of cornmeal, yellow cornmeal, 4 cups of all-purpose flour, salt, pepper, paprika, cayenne pepper, and you mix all those ingredients together. Then I just spread some prepared mustard, and I use the stone ground mustard. And I have 2 catfish fillets. And you're just going to put the mustard on the fish, and then you're going to bread it, put it in the cornmeal mixture. You can use an electric skillet, a deep fryer. You heat the oil to approximately 375 degrees and you fry it. About 2 or 3 minutes, like a rack. I put it on a rack so to keep its crispness and the crispiness. However, you want to maintain that crispiness, so I use the rack. And this is a cooling rack. I make sure I clean it real good because I use it for my cakes. I use it for a lot of things, to cool off or to preserve the crispness if I'm frying something. So I'll be back to let you see the finished project. And I'm going to cook it on the other side. Now, if you want to use a deep fryer, that would be good. So you can, cook it the entire time without flipping it. And but I just didn't want to use a lot of oil, like I said before. So I am going to let it cook some more, and I'll show you the finished product. Okay, guys, that is the finished product. Doesn't that browned perfectly? Doesn't that look good? This is mustard fried, and in this case, catfish. I'm going to plate it up. Take me a thumbnail, and then I'm going to taste it. I'm just going to have this and some sweet peppers. That's all I'm going to have. So anyway, I'll be right back. Let me plate it for you. Okay, guys, so this is plated. Like I said, this is This is all that I'm going to have. I'm going to put a little hot sauce on my fish, and then I put some ranch on my sweet peppers. But guys, I'm going to taste it without. Oh, it's so crunchy, guys. Ooh, that's so crunchy. It's good, guys. It is good. Trying to stay away from a little salt, from salt. I could have used a little more, but I'm going to leave it as is. I don't need no more salt. You guys, sometimes you use that Cajun seasoning. You can put a little of that in the flour. But this is good, guys. Got a good crunch to it. So I'm going to get me some hot sauce. Get me some flavored water. And I'm going to get down. Thank you for joining me. Subscribe to my channel. Usually I do recipes, cooking, and how-tos on my eating channel, Eat with Marilyn Gayle, but I'm going to put this on my main channel. And maybe make it again and do a variation of it, and then I'll put it on my eating channel, my cooking channel. So have a good evening. Have a good weekend. I will see you next time. Remember, I do lives, my live broadcast every day but Sunday at 4. I'll always, well, I won't say always. Most of the time, if the schedule change, I will send out a community tab. I'll post a community tab. But I'm going to eat right now. I will see you later. No more talking. It's time to grub, like they used to say. So thank you for coming again, and I will see you soon. Have a good evening.
No, but I wasn't grown up in mine. But I wasn't grown up in mine. But I wasn't grown up in mine.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me today. I am going to make some sticky ribs. I'm going to cheat a little bit on my barbecue sauce and use something that's prepared, but I'm going to doctor it up. You know how we do it. But I'm going to make my rub right now, and it's really very simple. This is what I use, but if it's something that you don't use or don't like, you can omit that. And if you like a certain seasoning or spice, go ahead and put that in the rub. But first of all, I'm going to start off with some brown sugar. And I'm going to put about a third. I use this little bitty thing. That's okay. You can use a bigger bowl, but it doesn't matter. That's a third cup of brown sugar. And I don't really measure a lot, but this is paprika. And I'm just going to put a few shakes of that. I'm going to put, if you need a measurement, just start off with 1/4 of a teaspoon and see how, or even up to a half, and see if that's too much or if that's enough. Then I put sprinkle some onion powder. And like I said, I don't measure, but if you need a measurement, keep it to I would say a 1/2 teaspoon, and just see how that works. But basically, it's to taste. And then I put some of this. I like to put this in a lot of things. This Creole seasoning. I put a couple of shakes in that. Then I use lemon pepper seasoning. Ooh, always happens. Chokes me up. Strong. Then I put some garlic powder. Then I put, don't put a lot because it has salt in it. So I use this meat tenderizer. So if you can find one, I just happen to have the seasoned kind. Then I put regular black pepper, just a couple of shakes. Then I just add a little bit of the ground pepper, red pepper. I put a couple of shakes. And then I put about a teaspoon of salt. And then I'm just going to take me a fork and just mix it up. See, this was big enough, this little container. See, and I like these little containers and those little ramekins that I have, because sometimes when you eat, you don't want to mix certain things, let other things mix with your other food to make it soupy or whatever. So grits and stuff like oatmeal grits, if I'm having pork and beans with something, baked beans with something, then I'll use this kind of ramekin to kind of, you know how pork and bean juice and other juice kind of runs together on your plate with the other stuff. Just use a little ramekin or something like this and hold it. I use these things a whole lot. So I'm gonna I think I'm gonna add, because this is for the whole slab. I think I'm going to add a little bit more salt. You don't have to do that if you don't want, because I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to do this all over my ribs. And I've had these ribs for a while, so let me make some room out of my freezer and make these ribs. So that's the rub. Let me show you my ribs. Okay, these are my ribs. These are baby back ribs. So what I did, I started it with a knife, and then I'm just going to take this little film off the back. And see, that's that film on the back. Just lift it up with a knife. And but before I did that, I rinsed them off really good, kind of with my hands, like rubbing them. Then I dried it off with a paper towel. I'm going to kind of, let's see, I'll kind of trim them, you know, if I see excess fat. I'm gonna trim them. That's not working too good. Let me see if I can do better with my scissors. Okay. Yeah. I'll cut some of the trim off. And here's some more of the film on the edges that I didn't get. It just comes off really good, easy on these baby backs. I'm gonna cut some of the trim over here, some of the fat. I'm gonna trim some of the fat. We don't want to take all the fat off because, you know, that's flavor. But we don't want our ribs so fat that's all we bite into it. So it's easier for me to use these scissors. Cut some of that fat off. You know? Go this way. That knife is usually sharp, and that's why I'm using these scissors. So, okay. I should cut some more off, but that's okay. I'm going to wash this board off really good afterwards with soapy water. Let me wash my hands. What I'm doing is I'm preheating my oven I'm going to start off with 325 because I want them to cook slow. And then, like I said, these are smaller ribs than the baby backs. So what I'm going to do is put the rub on. Well, actually, no. I'm not going to preheat my oven because I'm going to put the rub on and I'm going to put it in the refrigerator and let that rub kind of seep through for at least an hour. Most times, and then I just rub it in. Most times I leave it on overnight, guys. But this time, if you can leave it on in the refrigerator for a couple hours, that's good. So I'll check it. I'll check it in an hour. And if I felt like I needed some more rub, I don't even measure. I just put everything I use and just eyeball it. And okay, that's it. You can pack it on there real good if you want, but I'm gonna leave it like that. Okay, guys, I just let it marinate a little bit more. Just a little bit more than an hour. So I put the ribs in this rack. I put the oven on 325. I'm gonna check it since they're not like the big ribs, the regular ribs that I'm gonna cook them for an hour and see instead of the lower temperature in 2 hours. I'm gonna cook them for an hour, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my glaze. I will cut them individually, dip them in the grave. Dip them in the glaze, guys. And then I'm going to cook them 10 minutes. Probably dip them again and put them in another 10 minutes, but I'll see how it works out. So, because usually my ribs are a little bit bigger than this, so I, more time to cook. But these ribs, they look meaty. Oh my gosh, lean, and I'm looking forward to it. And I'm just gonna make a little potato salad. Um, I had some leftover baked beans from the other day, so I'm gonna eat that with it. And or maybe I'll substitute something and make macaroni and cheese. I don't know, but I'm gonna concentrate on these sticky ribs, and I'll show you exactly how I make the glaze. Okay, now I'm going to make the glaze. The ribs are still in the oven. I'm going to make this glaze and dip the ribs in. And guys, I don't do measurements. I mean, I kind of eyeball it. So I'm using this Sweet Baby Ray's sweet red chili sauce and marinade. So this is a 16-ounce jar, not jar, 16-ounce container, 1 pint. So I am going to use probably 3/4 of this. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put soy sauce. Probably a teaspoon. And usually I put butter. Usually I put honey. But this time I'm just going to experiment. You can put honey in it, but I'm going to experiment with this peach preserves. Because I love peach preserves. And I'm going to put a tablespoon. Maybe a little more. Maybe a little more. That's it. Now I'm going to put a splash of apple cider vinegar, and that's going to cut some of that sweetness for me. Now I'm going to put a little bit of stone ground mustard. If you don't think you like the mustard, don't do it. If you don't think you're going to like the peach preserves, go on and put the honey or omit the honey. But what you might end up with if you start omitting too many things. So let me get this together. I'm going to squeeze about a teaspoon of this. I'm going to whisk this together, and I'm going to put it on the heat and let it simmer. And when I think everything is in, one more thing. I'm going to squeeze a little lemon. Ooh, I put a seed in there. Yep. I'm going to squeeze just a little bit of lemon juice. Freshly squeezed. Okay. And then I'm going to kind of just taste it and see if I want to add anything else. guys. Now this is sweet hot chili, so it's got a little kick to it. This is delicious, guys. This is so delicious. And usually I'll cut, like for regular barbecue sauce, I'll slice some lemon. And when I'm heating it up and letting it simmer, I'll slice the lemon and put it in the barbecue sauce. But I'm not gonna do that. I like this taste just the way it is, so I don't want to put any more of anything in it. So just guys, slowly put different things in it, the things I mentioned or the things you want. If you want to go by my recipe, that this is very good. Because you could always add a little more, but it's hard to take it away if you add too much of something. So, start with small measurements to see if you like it, then taste it. So I am going to put this on the stove and let it simmer, and then probably for about 5 minutes after it gets like a little bubbly boil to it, turn it down, let it simmer for 5 minutes, then put it aside. Okay, I've taken the ribs out of the 350-degree oven. I'm going to let it rest. I don't want to cut it right now. You're always supposed to let your meat rest, whether it be chicken or beef or pork. Well, I do. So I'm going to let this rest. And then my glaze is done. I was going to show you. Let me see. Let me show you the glaze. Okay, that's ready. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to dip it in the glaze, pop it back in the oven at 400 degrees for about 10 minutes, and make sure you watch it. I'm gonna set my timer, but in like 5 minutes, I'm going to check it. Just turn my light on in the oven, and I'm going to check it. So I'll be right back and show you just how I just dipped it and put it back in the oven, and then show you the finished product. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, and the ribs are a little bit hot, what I did is I sliced the ribs so it'll be easier, quicker to get the sticky glaze all over. I do not have any thongs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dip the ribs in the sticky glaze. I'm turning the oven up to 400 degrees, and I'm going to put them in there, let them stand there for 10 minutes. No more, just 10 minutes. Guys, this glaze is delicious, I gotta tell you. And I'm going to do the meat side up. Okay, that's the oven. It has reached the 400, so as soon as I finish this, put it in the oven. Oh, this is going to be fantastic, guys. We're going to repeat this process. I'll have to put some more in there. I'm going to have to make some more glaze because I let the glaze cook down too much. So it's not enough for a second round in the oven for 10 minutes. So I'm going to watch it really good this time. I'll make sure I get all that glaze on that meat. Doesn't that look very good, guys? Very good. And with the leftover glaze, I'm just going to put it in a jar. Pop it in the refrigerator and maybe make some chicken. But doesn't that look good, guys? Okay, so I'll be right back. About 10 minutes on 400 and I'll let you see, and then I'm going to coat it again. Okay, guys, I dipped them again in the sweet red chili apricot glaze and put them again in the oven of 400 degrees. The first time I only did it 8 minutes, and then on the second time, because they're smaller bones that I'm usually dealing with, and the second time I popped them in the oven and did it for the 10 minutes. So there you go. I am going to wait for them to cool, and then I'm going to taste one. Okay, you guys, they're still pretty hot, so I'm just going to do a thumbnail, and that's the way they look. Guys, this glaze is just delicious, delicious. So this is the sweet red chili and apricot glaze, which in fact are my sticky ribs. So I made some potato salad and finishing off the red, my baked beans, and that's dinner. Right. Oh, you're not bad. Anyway, guys, let me take this thumbnail and then let me just eat because my dogs won't shut up. I think they just smell the aroma. It smells good in this house. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me today. This is Marilyn Gale. Listen, guys, today I am going to make Chinese pork lettuce wrap. And I said I was going to be vegetarian. Well, I'm moving slowly towards that, guys. Slowly towards that. So here's what they're going to look. Here's what they're going to look like. And it's step-by-step instructions. This is a home chef meal. I am not sponsored by them. Here's the pork, the ground pork we're going to use in a big box, and then individually each meal is separate. Oh, what is this? Okay, this is the water chestnuts that I am going to chop up real good. I'm going to drain it. Okay. Here's the chopped ginger. I'm so glad they chopped it. I have some ginger in my fridge though. Here's the cilantro. Here's the green onions, which I'm going to use both parts, the green and the white. I'm going to chop those up. Here is the the slaw mix. I had, I don't know how to pronounce this, but I'm going to do my best. I always stutter on certain words, you know. It's like, okay, if I don't use it, then I lose it, the pronunciation. Hoisin sauce. Okay, and here is the, what is this? What is this? I know what it is. Sriracha. We get 3 of these. I think these are like a teaspoon each. So, guys, in looking at this, if you want a quick, light meal, and this is going to take longer because I'm explaining, but ordinarily this is about a 15-minute dish. And here is the Asian sesame dressing. Oh, guys, I love this. I love this. Guys, you can make this. You can use the you know what I'm talking about, guys. Like the Beyond Meat, you know, you can use that if you don't want to use ground beef or ground pork and make this dish. And one more thing. And here, guys, is the lettuce. And I like this kind of lettuce. It is the head of butter lettuce. And see, guys, it has the root still on it. So this is going to last a while in your refrigerator. What I do to my lettuce, my tomatoes, I wrap them in paper towel. I wrap my produce and my fruit in paper towels. And to me, they last longer. Now, QVC, which is not sponsored, QVC, they have something on today where it's sheets that you put on your fruits and vegetables and your bread and everything, little square sheets, and it's supposed to last. So I might try it, but I don't know. Because paper towel works fine for me, but it won't work with cookies and breads and stuff like that. So maybe I'll try it out. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop my onions, drain and chop my chestnuts. I'm going to stem these and I'm gonna leave them. I'm gonna leave them whole, but you know I'm not gonna chop the leaves off the cilantro, but I'm gonna take them off the stem. And the lettuce, I'm gonna take the leaves off, and I'm going to rinse them off lightly, and then take a paper towel and just dry them. But guys, I buy this sometimes. The lettuce that has the root still on it, like they're still growing. And as long as this part is on it, they stay fresh. And they're a little bit like this will last to the end of August. Well, what is this? Okay, that's still pretty good, but they probably had this, you know, in their warehouse or whatever. But usually it lasts longer because I get it where the date is not as close to the expiration date. But anyway, I'm going to do that and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I am going to cook the ground pork now for my lettuce wraps. I put a couple of teaspoons of olive oil in a non-stick skillet. After I handle this pork, I'm going to wash my hands so it will not be any cross-contamination. Hey, my pork's not supposed to be contaminated anyway, but you know what? It's raw, so I'm going to make sure it's done. Some people will eat their pork and it's like red in the middle. Okay, I don't eat nothing with red in the middle, but I've seen where people like their steaks rare. But see, I don't mess with uncooked pork. Period. So I'm gonna let that cook and brown it. Okay, I'm gonna break it up. I'll break it up more as it'll be easier to break up as it gets done. I'm gonna cook it like approximately 7 minutes on each side. When you're cooking meat like this, If you want to gauge it by your meat thermometer, it should gauge at 165 at least to be safe. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to, let me pick it up a little bit more, and now I'm going to put the sausage in. I'm going to put the hoisin sauce. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And guys, I love this sauce. I've tasted before when I've had, Chinese food, but I didn't know what the name of it was. And only through, cooking meals with home chef. And I thought, oh, and I tasted. I said, that's what that is. I've been going and tasting and getting that good flavor. Okay, I'm going to turn this down a little bit. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the chopped water chestnuts in with the beef. Turn it down a little bit lower. Okay, now I'm going to put the sriracha sauce. And it says do it to taste, guys. And I kind of like the spiciness of this, so I'm going to put all 3 packets. And it's only 3 teaspoons. I mean, I like spicy. It's not real spicy that you can't enjoy your food. Okay. I should have one more somewhere. Okay, here it is. Okay. Stir that up so I can blend it in really good. Make sure the sauce covers the meat. You want every bite to have these flavors. Okay, now I'm going to put the white part of the green onions in that mixture. Okay, now guys, I'm looking for my ground ginger. I'm going to put my ginger, my ground ginger. Ginger is good for you guys. It has so many benefits. I'm not a health expert, but you know what? I know ginger is good for you, so Google it. Google it, guys. You'll find out that ginger is a very healthy spice. Okay, guys, and what I'm going to do, not a lot, but I'm going to put a pinch of salt One for good measure. Because you know what? We have the sauces in there, and we're not going to need a lot of salt. God, that looks good. Taste a little bit of that. Okay, guys. So what I did is I put the pork in the lettuce cups. And what I did is I put 2 layers of lettuce so it'll be crispy and it will hold up the meat and all the other fillings. So what I'm going to do, what I'm going to do next is I am going to put some coleslaw on top. It comes with a lot of coleslaw. This is going to be 2 meals. Hey, you can eat it all one night if you want. I think this would be enough for me. Put as little as you want, because see, that's a lot of coleslaw. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine the dressing. Okay, I put the dressing in this Asian sesame dressing, which is so good, guys. So good. And then I'm going to put the green onions, the green part of the onion. And I'm going to do it all and save the half of it, the second half of my second meal. And I'm going to mix it up. That's easy enough. And see, we can put the dressing on there now, or we could just, just put it, but I'm going to put it on there now. I'm going to put that dressing on there now, and I'm going to save the other half for tomorrow. And I think I have some Asian sesame dressing if I want more. And then what I'm going to do is top it off, guys, with the cilantro. And I didn't cut it all up so I can use all the cilantro that I took off the stems. Because I wanted the cilantro to stay on the stems until I use it. It'll stay fresher longer. At least, to me it does. So now, let me take a thumbnail and then I'm going to taste it, guys. Okay, took my thumbnail and I am going to taste this wrap. I'm going to try to get it so it don't fall on the floor because my dogs is waiting patiently for me to drop something. Guys, eat it while the meat's warm. The crispness of the lettuce and the coleslaw. Perfect amount of dressing. Oh my gosh, I can taste that ginger and those water chestnuts. Guys, you gotta try this. If you want to try Home Chef, give me your email address. You'll see the my email address in my description area. If you just can't do that, you've seen what I used. Each one of these ingredients you can buy at the grocery store. I just like Home Chef. It takes the guesswork out of portions and seasoning amount. Just everything is just measured for the absolute best taste. And guys, these are good. I'm gonna let you guys go. I'm hungry, and this is so good. And it's not bad. Like I said, you can substitute, use a meat substitute. I used ground pork because it came with that. Beyond Meat, if you want to use that, all them soybean, plant-based meats, which not bad. Some brands are better than others, but it's not bad. Use that. This is a guilt-free dish as far as I'm concerned. So, guys, thank you for joining me. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, do that. Click that notification bell, and I will see you with another deal. I got one more meal to present. My other channel, Eat with Marilyn Gale, I put one dish on that channel. But I think I'm gonna put this on my Being with Marilyn Gale because I got a lot of people on that channel that love to cook and love to try different things. But guys, I'm getting ready to go. I'm getting long-winded and I'm getting hungry. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend and everyone have a great night. Okay, welcome everyone and thank you for joining me. This is, I don't know the name, but it's like a mukbang, but it's supposed to be enjoyable. Oh, there go my dog. They get on my nerve. But you're supposed to watch me eat. It's supposed to soothe you. It's supposed to make you hungry. Okay, so anyway, you asked me why I'm doing this. Because I'm hungry. And this is tax deductible. So I figured I gotta eat. So I might as well make it a tax deduction if I use it. Okay, so now you understand why I'm doing this. I went to a Polo Loco and I got a breast and a wing. I got macaroni and cheese. And I got pinto beans. I'm glad you're not here. Pinto beans make me gassy. I got taquitos with chips, guacamole. On top of the taquitos is chicken, just chicken. I got some generic soda, diet cream soda. So, I'm so hungry. Now, you gotta be able to eat a lot. So, I don't know how I'm gonna do this because it's a lot of food for me. So, anyway, I'm gonna get started on the taquitos. Now, I don't know if I'm supposed to smack and moan while I eat. And I'm not into burping, well, belching, but I think you're supposed to do that too. I don't know, but see how good that is. Oops. All those guacamole. See that? People get irritated when you smack bite me because I wouldn't let him lick my fingers. Don't bite the hand that feeds you now. Oh, he wanted the top to the taquitos. He licking off the guacamole. He tried to bite me. Like a dog. Ooh. Well, he didn't actually lick my fingers. I'm glad because I just sucked the cheese off. Ooh, this is nasty. I'm trying to get comfortable. There's no one here to help me get up. I'm gonna have to do a lot of editing. This is a chicken wing, but I think you guys know that, but I think I'm supposed to describe it. I hope you guys know what I'm doing, because if you don't know what I'm doing, I'm looking real stupid right about now. Okay. Look it up. Like I said, it's another word for it, but the word that I remember is mukbang. M-U-K-B-A-N-G. Google it. You're supposed to smack. Oh, I forgot. I got a moan. So good. That's so good. That's a nice looking taquito. Don't look at my face. You're just supposed to see my lips. Oh, shoot, I forgot the straw. Something wrong with my dog. He like fingers and toes. I want a straw, but I don't want to get up. I think my dog could jump on the table and eat my food. Get out of here. Go. Go. You're supposed to slurp. Good. Oh, I'm supposed to whisper. Good. Leave my toes alone. Don't go. My dog. Oh, this is not working. He keep trying to suck my toes. My dog is a freak. Go. Go. I feel stupid. Forgive me, guys. I can't enjoy my food with people watching me. There's that nut right there. Look, he's scrounging around for food. I tried. I can't do this. I can't have people watching me eat. So, what I'm going to say is I'm going to leave you right now. Go sit down at a table like normal people. Eat my food like normal people. Get away from this dog that keeps trying to suck my fingers and toes. And I will see you next time. Stop it! Don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell. I promise I'm not going to do this again. I look stupid. Okay. Till next time. Bye-bye. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me today. This is Marilyn Gale. Today, I am going to do a quick dessert. I'm actually going to use a dessert that I got from QVC. You know those home shopping channels, and they had where you can try these different flavors of no-bake cheesecake mix. This particular flavor that I'm going to try is the Key Lime Crush. Now, you get 6 packages. You get 2 of each. So you get 2 of the Key Lime Crush, 2 of the Tropical Orange, and 2 of the Luscious Lemon. So I am going to try the Key Lime Crush. So what I did is I got 2 cups of Cool Whip. Now, you can use whipped cream. I'm using Cool Whip. Don't use the low-fat whipped cream or Cool Whip or whatever. Don't use the low-fat because the consistency won't be what you want it. So what I did is I put the 2 cups in a bowl, and I'm going to use an 8-ounce, well, I threw the wrapper away, but 8 ounce of the cream cheese. Okay, so if you find the Cool Whip in the freezer section, let it thaw, and then the cream cheese, you want to have it room temperature. You want it to be soft and pliable. So I'm going to put that in with the Cool Whip. This is going to be real simple. Okay, and so now I cut the bag already for the key lime. And then we're going to just, sprinkle that all over. And then we're just going to, mix it up very well. Might have to use something other than what I have. We'll see. Let me get it together. Okay, guys, I mixed my mix together of my no-bake cheesecake with the Cool Whip. And if you want, you can make a graham cracker crust, and that's optional. You can use a third cup of graham cracker crumbs and 2 tablespoons of melted butter. Mix that around and just put it at the bottom of your ramekin or your dish, whatever dish you're using. So I am not going to put the butter on mine. I just want to kind of sprinkle. I took a paper bag and I'm just crushing some graham crackers. And they don't have to be crushed too small, but you know, this is not a big dessert. So I'm just going to put a little at the bottom of each. Now this is quick and easy, but the most time is letting it be in the refrigerator and kind of set for 4 hours. Yes, 4 hours. So I put some at the bottom. I got my cheesecake mixture. And I'm going to put a dollop of each. And I'm going to make it like a parfait type thing. You know what I mean? I'm going to put this in here. And you can top it with, you know, bits of chocolate or toasted coconut. But I'm just going to use the crushed graham crackers. Okay, now I'm going to put some more on top of each dollop of cheesecake mixture. Very easy, guys. And I've never tried this, guys. I've never tried this. That's why I'm going to kind of review it and tell you guys exactly what I think of it. I've made things similar to this, but not quite like this. And I'm going to put another dollop on top of that. And I'm going to have some left, so I'm going to take some other containers. Oops. Put a top of that. I'm going to top it off with some more graham crackers. And I have some whipped cream left over, guys, so hold on just a second. Okay, I have extra whipped cream. Well, Cool Whip. So I'm going to stir it up a little bit so it'll be fluffy. And I'm just going to put, come on now, a dollop of the Cool Whip right on top. You know, you make it a little fancier, but I'm just doing this so I can show you. Okay. And just take the really fine bits of graham cracker and just put a little bit of the Cool Whip. And there you go, guys. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. I'm going to put this in the fridge for 4 hours. I'll be back and we're going to taste it. And I'm giving a review from 1 to 5. 5 being the tasty, delicious, and 1 meaning I don't waste your money. And I'm going to be honest. Okay? Thank you for joining me, and I'll be right back. Okay. Ooh, I kicked the camera. Okay. It's been more than 4 hours. I'm going to wrap up the leftovers in plastic wrap or put them in a bigger baggie. But anyway, I'm going to taste this. Remember, I put the graham crackers in between the cream cheese, and then I put a little Cool Whip on top. And so let's taste this. Guys, that's good. Let me get a little graham cracker and dip it because I want more of that crunch. Remember, guys, you can make the butter and graham cracker crust and just lay it on the bottle, or just do what I did and just make it like a parfait. But let me get some graham cracker and just dip it and use it as a spoon. You guys know you want this. Okay, guys, I have a graham cracker I'm going to use as a spoon. And I'm just going to dip that. Make sure I get some of that Cool Whip on there too. Let's see. That's good also. That's very good. And see, I have some more left, so I just put it. It was enough to make another larger serving. So I just put it in a ramekin, and I made it the same way. Or you can just crunch up. For a glass this size, I think I would do like half of like 2 of these little strips. Crunch them up and put them on the bottom. To make that spoon go all the way to the bottom so you can get all the layers. And see, people that don't eat a lot of sugar, you can eat this. I'm going to eat like half of it. And remember, guys, I have 2 other flavors. I have the Luscious Lemon and the Tropical Orange. And remember, guys, I got this from QVC. And ordered it. And it's made by Terra. I'd not heard of that brand. So it's supposed to be. And I got it when they had the gourmet food segment on QVC. I got some brisket steak burgers. And they're so good. It comes with a special seasoning that you could put on top, or you can put your own. And then I ordered some more because I wanted to stock them and put in my freezer. But the order that the second order that I got came with fries. And I just popped them fries in my air fryer. They were already seasoned. So I just put a little olive oil across the top, or you can use, a better, different oil if you want. Not a whole lot, just a little bit. And so let's see, how would I rate this from 1 to 5? They're good. And I want to say 5. I'm going to give it a 4. Only because there's nothing wrong with it, but a 5 would be just out of this world. Don't get me wrong, it's good. So I'll give it a 4 plus, a 4.5, okay? I'll give it a 4.5. So anyway, that's my review. It was very easy to make. All I did was I put this packet. It gives you the directions on the back. I put a packet of the cheesecake mix, 8 ounces of cream cheese. Make sure it's softened. And let it be really softened. So the texture will be good. And then I put 2 cups of pre-whipped dairy topping. I use Cool Whip. And like I said before, don't use the low fat because the consistency won't be right. And the crust is optional, but it's really easy. A 1/3 cup of graham cracker crumbs and 2 tablespoons of melted butter. And you just mix the crumbs and press in the bottom of the, your dessert dish or a ramekin. And you just fold, put the cream cheese in and fold in the whipped topping. And you let it, you know what? I said 4 hours, but it only needs 3 hours. It only needs 3 hours. And you can garnish it, like I said, with blueberries, raspberries. You can put some toasted coconut, some chocolate chips on top. Whatever you want. And it's only 75 calories per serving. And a serving is about 1 1/4 tablespoon. So this right here, what I ate is probably a serving. So those who are watching their sugar intake, just I don't deny myself things. I just fix myself small portions. So I won't be, I'll wait till later on and I'll get another tablespoon of this to eat it. But guys, it's very good. Thank you for watching. Make a comment if you want me to give you the item number of QVC for this. I'm not sponsored. They are not sponsoring this particular, none of my videos. They're not sponsoring. They're not sponsoring me. Like I said, subscribe, hit that notification bell, give me a like, and I'll see you next time. And thank you for watching, guys. Have a good evening. Okay, thank you guys for joining me. This is Marilyn Gale, and I am going to make, it's supposed to be a 6-fruit trifle. However, I couldn't find any nectarines or peaches that I liked, and I didn't want to use canned peaches or anything, so all of this is fresh fruit. I have pineapple. Okay, where's my pineapple? Oh, it's in the refrigerator. I mix it up. Pineapple, kiwi, strawberry, banana, and blueberry. Okay, and I just got make sure you drain the pineapple. I got fresh pineapple because the recipe calls for canned, but everything in here is fresh. I cut them up, and there's my kiwi. Isn't that pretty? I love kiwi and blueberries. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my Jell-O pudding. I have vanilla. You can use Coke. I wouldn't do chocolate. You could, well, wait a minute. Chocolate may be good for you guys. I just like it better with the vanilla. And I'm going to put a little kick of vanilla. I'm going to put a little vanilla paste when I make it. Now I'm going to put all the ingredients. I'm going to put everything in the description area. So, make this, but this is such a quick and easy recipe, and it's so good. Now what I did is I'm put the cake is in the oven, just a box cake, and the recipe calls for a 9 ounce. You know how the Jiffy cornbread size, I think that's 8 or 9. Okay, I just used half of the cake mix, and you could put one or two. I put 1 egg in it. It called for water, so I put half a cup of water, and then it calls for oil, and so I got half of that. And I put everything in the description area, and I'm going to make that. Like I said, I'm going to add a little vanilla paste to my vanilla to give it a little bit more of a vanilla flavor, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to layer it. And I have a punch bowl that if you flip it over and adjust it, it turns into like a nice glass truffle. But it's so high, it won't fit into my refrigerator. So I'm just going to put it in one of my glass bowls. And this is just something that if you have kids, they can go in and just get a quick little snack or whatever. And look at all the fresh fruit that we have. So it's not going to be a bad thing for them. And in fact, have your kids help you, arrange it if you like. And we're just going to layer it. So I'll be back after the cake is done. And then I'm going to cube I'll take the cake out, let it cool completely. I'm going to cut it into cubes, and then we're going to start layering. Like I said, I'm going to make the pudding. We're going to layer it, but I'll show you all that. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, the cake is out of the oven. It's cooled, and now I'm going to cut it in cubes, and that's going to be the first layer. I also have whipped cream. Well, not actually whipped cream. The recipe calls that you get some heavy cream and you beat it, put a little sugar. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to show you the quick way to do it. Just use some Cool Whip. And I got a big tub because I wanted some Cool Whip left over so I can put on top of everything, top of some strawberries. I had some strawberries left, some other fruit left. So, I might just, when I devour this trifle, I will put Cool Whip on top. But if you want to get some heavy cream, I'm going to put the ingredients and all that, and you can do that if you want. And I should have been talking and working. So, then I'm going to I don't want it any smaller because the cake is kind of moist and I don't want it to crumble. It's crumbling enough. But you see, just like that. And we're going to layer it, put fruit, put the whipped cream, put the pudding. Ooh, 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 ooh. I'm going to leave that like it is because see the little pieces be crumbling. So next I'm going to just make the pudding. You know how to make pudding, but I'm just going to do that really quick. Okay, now I'm going to make the instant pudding. Guys, get the instant. Don't get the kind you have to cook over a stove. The consistency is just not the same. And when you're doing this, do not use soy milk. it just doesn't work the same, the consistency. So I always use this kind of milk because a lot of people, may think, or I used to think, let me just speak to myself. I used to think that I had to get the lactose free, but the A2 milk, and I'm not sponsored by them guys. Okay, next I'm going to put the vanilla bean paste. I use this a lot. So I'm just going to squeeze some in there, give it a little bit more vanilla flavor. But I can drink milk. The A2, I think they said that they take like protein or something that they take out. So a lot of people, according to the commercial, a lot of people may think that they lactose tolerant, and a lot of people are. But I can do this. So what I did is I put the milk in. Like I said, I'll put everything in the description area. I'm whisking this. I'm going to do this for a couple of minutes, and then I'm going to let it set. And then I will put everything together. I love vanilla pudding just by itself. So I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I end up testing to see if this would fit in my refrigerator because after I put it all together, I am going to let it set overnight. The minimum you want it to set is 4 hours. So if you're planning on having this dessert, fruit dessert, plan ahead. You can't do it at the last minute. So now I'm going to wash my hands and then assemble everything together. And guys, when I cut up the banana, I put a little lemon on the banana. I put it in a bowl by itself, and then I put a little lemon on it, and that prevents it, and then I stirred it around, and that prevents it from turning brown. So first, I am going to line the bottom with the cubes of the cake. And you're going to have some cake left over because remember, I had the larger box of cake mix. So I'm just going to line the bottom with the cake cubes. And then what I'm going to do, just knocked the camera over. Then what I'm going to do is put the fruit mixture on the cake. And the last layer, of course, will be the fruit. And I'm just going to sprinkle. Try not to put all the blueberries on one roll. I seem to be catching them all. Okay. And then what I'm going to do I'm going to put the pudding. Okay, the pudding is set. Now, you know, kind of hard to spread it all evenly because the fruit, of course, is not even. And then what I'm going to do is put the whipped cream. Like I said, I used Cool Whip. So I'm going to stir that because I put the rest in the freezer. Okay, so I'm going to put the Cool Whip, and if I need more, I'll take out more for the second layer. But right now, I think I'm good. Okay. And then I'm just going to repeat it. Okay. Let's put some more cake. And this is a bigger bowl than what the illustration shows. So it's not going to reach the top. It was supposed, in the illustration, it was a smaller bowl. But the one that I was going to use before I figured out this container would fit was larger. So we're going to cover this with some fruit. And then we're going to put some pudding. I don't have any plastic wrap, so what I'm going to do is put a plastic bag over it, and then I'm going to put aluminum foil over that, or either some parchment paper. Now I'm going to add the rest of the whipped cream. And we're going to finish the top row. Let me take some more whipped cream out. We're going to put the top row with fruit, mostly the make sure you see the kiwi, the strawberry, and the blueberries. Okay, what I did is I took some more Cool Whip out the freezer and I kept stirring it till it was pliable. And now I'm going to finish off with the rest of the fruit. I don't want any to pineapple on top. Okay. The kiwi makes it look so good. Let me separate that. The kiwi adds a little bit more flavor. I don't know. But guys, look at there. Let me just have you take a better look. Look at that. Oh my gosh, that looks beautiful. And like I said, I'm going to let this set in the refrigerator I'm going to leave it in overnight. But that's beautiful. Ta-da, ta-da. I can't wait to dig in. So anyway, guys, this is the 5-fruit trifle. And I just couldn't find any peaches, but peaches or nectarines, that would just set it off. Oh my gosh. So I'm going to put this in the refrigerator, and thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate you. I appreciate all my subscribers, whether you've been with me from the beginning or whether you're new, you are appreciated. And just stay tuned. And if you have not subscribed, go ahead and click that subscribe button. And not really a button, it's just a word. Just click on it and click the bell to get all my notifications. Plus, I am going to come up with some more recipes, guys. Some will be new for me, but most will be things that I have cooked for throughout my life. And plus, I'll be doing the home chef recipes. I get another shipment in a few days, so I'll be bringing those to you. Whether it be on my Being Marilyn Gayle channel or Eat with Marilyn Gayle, I will bring those to you. And some are very simple, and some are a few more steps. But to me, they're all easy. So thank you so much. I wish I could get into it right now, but I gotta let it set. Let the flavors just marinate. But anyway, guys, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Good night. Here is my pot roast seasoning for my meatballs. Here's my demi-glaze, guys, and this. Okay, guys, I'm not even sure where I left off. That was a call that interrupted my videotaping, and I had to take that call because I had been on hold for a long while. And let me tell you quickly. I went to Walmart, and I go there a lot. It's close. Okay, let me just show you this. These are the bread crumbs that comes with it. Here's the peas. See how they're proportioned? Here is the sour cream. I say cream cheese, but it's sour cream. I don't put that in my potatoes either, but I will save that because I'll use it later for something else. Here is cornstarch. See how they're all proportioned? I already showed you the demi-glaze, which, guys, is good on your steak or ground beef or something like that. They even give you a stick of butter which I'll probably use more than that. But let me just tell you, I went to Walmart and I spent about $195, which is just a little bit more than I usually spend. But went to the store hungry, so therefore you picking up more than what you should. So I get in line, pay for it. I put my card in, and it got to the point where the cashier is going to have to clear it. When she finishes, I guess she has to push a few buttons. But I've already put my card in. So after she ring up the last thing, mind you, she had been courteous before, But then she asked me for my EBT card. Okay. Now, why are you asking me for my EBT card? Because number one, I already put my debit card in. It was clear, but she just had to do something on the register. But just because somebody comes in there and spend a lot of money and they have a certain ethnicity does not mean they use food stamps. Now, mind you, I have paid taxes so much that if I needed some food stamps, I would get some food stamps. But I don't need them. I have assisted people who have needed them because I've worked on different aspects of social service. That has been my career, from food stamps to aid, cash aid, to housing. But do not make the assumption that I'm on food stamps because I spend that amount of money and I'm black. Okay, let's be. I'm black. So I wanted to speak to the manager. It took a while, so I thought I could, kind of do some things with this videotaping. And she called just when I was, I was videoing, and I wasn't going to delete it because I wanted you guys to hear this. I let the manager know that I thank them for being there. They've always been courteous. I've never had a problem with this, but this is what it is. Don't make assumptions. In fact, I let the manager know. In fact, we are the minority that is receiving those benefits if you really study. And those of you that have the EBT card, don't be offended. Don't be offended. But I stand by what I said. Don't assume that because I spent this amount of money, you surely can't afford all of them groceries. You must have an EBT card. So I had to complain, but I also let her know this is the only time I felt offended at the store. And so on the receipt, it has her operator number. And I let the manager know she had been nice before then, but I was offended. And so, she's going to get a little talk. And I told her, educate her on if she's going to stereotype, educate on her on who really, that we are black people are the minority. Other ethnicities beat us in social services, in getting benefits. But if I needed them, I have no qualms about getting it. I paid enough taxes in my life to receive any benefits I am due, but thank God I just don't need it. So I can get off of that. I just wanted to let you guys know, that interruption that I had. So I'm going to start my meatballs. Okay, guys, I'm going to make the meatballs. And so here is the ground beef. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the breadcrumbs. My scissors. They got these little packets sealed pretty good. So I'm going to put all my breadcrumbs in with the hamburger. And then here is the seasoning blend. And I'm going to sprinkle that all in. But I don't have to measure any of that. I'm going to put 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. I kind of eyeballed it. Okay, so I'm going to blend everything together, and I'm going to make meatballs about the size of, you can make them small if you want, but I'm going to make them at least the size of a golf ball, guys. Not that I'm going to try to measure and make sure it's the size, but approximately, guys. So I'm just going to smush it all together to blend those seasonings and all the spices, the breadcrumb. Try to make all the ingredients uniform. So let's take that. So that should be good. So I'm going to do all that and I'll be right back. Okay, so I didn't want to do this, guys, like my oven, but I have to. Because we're just going to sear the meatballs for about 7 minutes or so. Making sure they're seared on both sides. And this is going to searing the meatballs, guys, is going to make them moist on the inside. So it's going to be not dry meatballs. They're going to be juicy meatballs. So, guys, I put them in there. I'm going to sear them for about 7 minutes. You're going to finish cooking in the oven set preheated at 400 degrees. My potatoes are cooking because I want to get those real mushy. And then what I'm going to do, now this is the thing, guys. I've never done this, but I'm gonna do it the way the directions says on Home Chef, their menu card. Okay, this is the peas. What I'm going to do is put a pinch of salt and put some olive oil. And when I sear the meatballs, I'm going to put them on a baking sheet. I'm on one side, and I'm going to put these peas on the other side. They're not going to cook as long as the meat, but I'll tell you when I get to that. But I have not done this. Usually I put a little water on, season it, and put my peas in that water. But and if there was nothing else that I had to put in the oven, I would certainly do that. But since I had to light my oven, turn on my oven anyway, I don't have to light it. See, that's the olden days when you had to light your oven. But anyways, let me catch up to modern times. But I'm going to put these peas on the other side, and that's how they're going to finish cooking. But I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I've turned them over. Seared one side, then I'm going to sear the other side. Have some space in between there. I just wanted to let you guys see all of it. So I am going to do that, and next step will be in 1 minute. Okay, guys, I took the meatballs out of the oven. I took the meatballs out of the skillet from searing. The oven is at 400 degrees, and I'm going to let them cook in the oven oven. Slow down, Marilyn. Slow down. I'm going to let them finish cooking in the oven for 6 minutes, and then I am going to take out the oven and put the peas on the side. Okay guys, my meat was in the oven for 6 minutes. Now I am going to do the peas. So I'm just going to spread this out. Guys, usually, like I said, I don't use olive oil in my peas. I use butter. And for some people, they use margarine. So what I'm going to do is put about a teaspoon, I'll eyeball it, a teaspoon of olive oil in my peas. And then I'm going to put a pinch of salt. And since the pan is hot, I'm not going to kind of incorporate everything with my pans. I'm just going to spread them around and try to incorporate all of this, the oil and the salt. And I'm going to put it back in the oven for about 4 to 6 minutes. In fact, I'll do 5. Just in between. Now I'm going to spread it out. So there'll be one layer, and I'm going to put it back in the oven, and then I'm going to make my sauce. The last step is the mashed potatoes. Okay guys, so I'm getting ready to make the sauce, and I have the cornstarch. The half a cup, remember, of cornstarch, and the cornstarch is at the bottom all stuck together. So what I'm going to do, and that's natural, what I'm going to do is just stir it. I'm going to put that in the pan. Then what I'm going to do is put the demi-glaze. And that's what's going to make the flavor of the sauce. So I'm going to put that demi-glaze in there. We're going to bring it to a boil. It comes with 2 packages, so I'm going to put both packages in there. Okay, my potatoes are still boiling. Like I said, I'm going to boil them till right before they start falling apart. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stir it. I'm going to put that down low. I'm going to stir it. It's going to thicken up because of the cornstarch. And I wiped this pan out. This is the same pan that I seared the meatballs. So I just wiped it off. You don't have to wash it all off with soap and water. Just wipe it out. Then when this comes to a boil, I'm going to take it off the burner. Okay. Look at that. Okay. Now, in this Home Chef, it said, you're doing the potatoes. You're doing the potatoes first. Not me. I want my potatoes where I don't have to be doing any reheating. So I do my mashed potatoes last. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, you know what, guys? You know how you have a baked potatoes with sour cream and a chive? I'm just going to put a little bit of cream, bit of sour cream. Yes, just a little bit. I usually don't, but I want a little bit of that. Usually, I just do with my light cream. Okay. Okay, that's it. I put that. My peas should be done. Let me take that out of the oven, guys. I don't want no burnt peas. Okay, I'm turning my oven off. Here we go. I'm gonna turn my fan up a little higher. Okay, so I got my sour cream. This is the butter, guys. It comes just this little packet. I'm not trying to hear that. I am not trying to hear that. Let me go get me some more butter. That's just ridiculous, that little packet. Usually they send you more. I just like a lot of butter. Look at that. Look at that. I'm going to put that much butter in there. Forget that. Do it the way you want to, guys. I'm just going to add some more butter. You know, sometimes when you're looking at different recipes, like some recipes, they say put a pinch of cinnamon in, like your peach cobbler. You better hush. You better put some cinnamon and a little nutmeg in there. Some people put a little allspice in there, but I'm not going by that. Put a pinch of cinnamon. That's what makes the flavors pop. You know what I'm saying? So, you do it the way you want, though. Okay. So now I'm going to add the chives, just a pinch, because after you plate it, you want the chives to be, the chives to go on top as a garnish. Now we're going to put a pinch, a fourth of a teaspoon of salt. Now, I didn't put quite a fourth because I put salt in my water. So it would be incorporated while it's boiling. So don't go overboard with the salt, guys. So now we're going to smush it, mash it. I don't have one of them potato mashers. Let me get a fork. I don't have one of them potato mashers, and I don't want to take out my hand mixer. You know what I'm saying? So, and see, this is the thing. If your mashed potatoes are too thick, you could either add some light cream or whatever, or remember that water that I said to reserve? You can add that water back in there. So let me do that and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I'm plating it up. Now, you know, on the picture, everything's fitting nicely. They're using a tiny plate. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spoon the sauce. Make sure, because I made 6. I might eat all these tonight. Forget that. I'm hungry. Just spoon that sauce over that. And there you go. Don't look as nice as the picture, but hey, it's gonna go down the same, don't you think? So there we go. Sunday supper pot roast meatballs with sour cream and chive, mashed potatoes, and side of peas. Let me take my, and then I'll be right back. Okay, let's taste these bad boys. It's moist. I knew that was gonna be good. I like my peas and my mashed potatoes together. Who does that? Me. See, I only put a little bit of sour cream. If you guys don't mind, put it all in there if you want. And I did 2 potatoes, so plenty of potatoes. Meatballs are done. I don't like no red meatballs, okay? Cook them till they done. So guys, this is a home chef meal. Like I said all the time, they're not sponsoring me. I use my own money to buy these meals. If you guys want $35 off, if you want to try it, you can do that. Give me your email in my email. I'll send it to them that way. You'll get the referral 35. Because as a new customer, they've been advertising like on different advertisers. But if I refer you, you get an extra 5 off. Okay? So, thank you for joining me. If you have not subscribed to the channel, you can do that now. Don't forget to like. If you subscribe, click that notification. And I'll be back. Let me stop smacking in your ear. And I'll be back with some more content. Maybe I'll cook. Well, on my Eat with Marilyn channel, I'll cook. If I decide to put it on my main channel, I cook and have other stories and content. Joining me. Have a good rest of your week and be blessed, guys. Thank you and have a good evening.